So here we are with the Davis 70 Mustang, and I'm going to show you what's going on in the engine bay. We've moved a lot of sheet metal around, tried to be sneaky about it, and tried to stay kind of OEM, but yet handmade. And very, very proud of all the hard work that's gone in here. So first off, we've moved the engine and the drivetrain back 3 inches to get the weight behind the front wheel. Well, that means the firewall's got to get tampered with. Everything's been pushed back. Now, we've made parts and pieces that look factory, so it's not just a flat kind of what they refer to as like a flat street roddy firewall. We don't want that because that doesn't fit the OEM-ish vibe. Over here used to be kind of a concave area where the battery would sit. We made just a more straightforward piece that looks like it was stamped. We've also mirrored it over on the other inner fender. Now, the inner fenders on the Mustangs don't have the same shapes or these little ribs and indentations. So what we've done is taken these two from a piece of sheet metal from the driver's side. We actually get all our sheet metal from Dynacorn, so we got all these different pieces and we cut these 2 pieces out of the driver's side panel and welded them in place. So now this vertical, and that slant look exactly like the one that's on the factory driver's fender. Now the shock tower, you Mustang guys or you Ford guys will notice right away, whole bunch of changes. It used to come all the way up here, used to be real wide. Remember the shock absorber and that brace that would come across? We've shrunk it down massively, probably about 20 to 30%. Now, we don't need this anymore because of the setup on the JME suspension. We're going to be talking about that suspension a little later. But what I didn't want to do is just make a flat plate that goes down and just leaves the character in here. So we actually shrunk the shock tower down and kept this plate that used to go to the motor mount and just welded it into the tower that is part of the JME front suspension's cradle mount. So a lot of stuff and a lot of metal work done here to look like it came that way. So now let's talk about what's going to be sitting in this engine bay, which is this big boy. So here's the drivetrain that's going in the car. We're starting with an all-aluminum John Kaase Boss 9. Now it's based after the Boss 429, but it's actually 520 cubic inches. Puts out around 805, 810 horsepower on pump gas. You can also see the Billet Specialties True Track drive in the front. Now we're going to change this up with different textures, different colors, but it's going to be this same lump power in the car. Moving backwards, we've got a QuickTime bell housing with a Ram 900 series twin disc clutch going into this little beauty that is prepared by Keisler. This is what they call their Road and Track 6-speed, and it's been modified with a gear set that allows it to be what we call a dog box clutchless 6-speed. What you'll do is you'll put the clutch in to engage into first gear, and then under spirited driving, you can upshift and downshift without using the clutch again. But the cool thing is driving around town, you can indeed use the clutch if you want to. So a really, really super cool piece from Keisler. And that is what's going to make this thing so darn fun to drive around.